Have you ever dreamed of just packing a bag and walking out your front door with no destination in mind but the entire world? It sounds like the plot of a movie, but for one man, it was a 7-year reality. This is the incredible story of Tom Turcich, the man who literally walked around the world. Our story begins in 2015. Tom Turcich, a young man from New Jersey, was about to embark on an adventure that most of us can only imagine. He packed a cart with essentials: a tent, a sleeping bag, a few changes of clothes, and a camera. His goal was simple, yet monumental: to circumnavigate the globe completely on foot. What drove him to take on such a colossal challenge? The answer is rooted in a profound personal experience. When Tom was just a teenager, he lost a close friend. This loss left him with a deep understanding of life's fragility and a burning desire to live every moment to its fullest. He realized that time is the most precious thing we have, and he didn't want to waste a single second. So he decided to walk. To see the world not through a plane window or a bus screen, but step by step, feeling the ground beneath his feet. He set off from his home, pushing his cart, a solitary figure against the vast American landscape. The first few months were a test of sheer will. Physical strain was immense, but the mental challenge was even greater. Loneliness crept in during the long, quiet days on the road, but Tom was determined. He walked south, through the United States, heading towards the promise of new lands and cultures. Then, just 4 months into his journey, something magical happened. In Austin, Texas, he visited an animal shelter and met a little puppy. This puppy, who he named Savannah, would become his loyal companion, his confidant, and his co-adventurer for the rest of the journey. From that moment on, it wasn't just Tom's journey anymore, it was Tom and Savannah's. Together, they crossed into Mexico, then navigated the diverse and vibrant landscapes of Central and South America. They trekked through dense, humid jungles, where the sounds of unseen creatures filled the air. They climbed steep, breathtaking mountains, where the world stretched out below them like a map. They crossed arid, sun-scorched deserts, where a single drop of water felt like a miracle. Each day brought new challenges: unpredictable weather, rough terrain, and the constant search for food and water. But with Savannah by his side, Tom never felt truly alone. She was his protector, his morale booster, and a furry bridge to connecting with people. Everywhere they went, Savannah's friendly nature broke down barriers, turning strangers into friends. Their journey wasn't just about covering distance, it was about immersion. Tom and Savannah didn't just pass through countries, they lived in them, one step at a time. They slept in their tent under star-filled skies, in the backyards of kind strangers, and in small local guest houses. Tom learned to communicate in different languages, tasted foods he'd never heard of, and experienced the world through the eyes of the people he met. He shared meals with families in remote villages, played soccer with children in city streets, and listened to the stories of countless individuals from all walks of life. He realized that despite our different cultures, languages, and beliefs, we are all connected by a shared humanity. The kindness of strangers became the fuel that kept him going. People offered him food, a place to sleep, or simply a warm smile and words of encouragement. These small acts of generosity reaffirmed his faith in the world and its people. After crossing the Americas, their journey took them across the Atlantic to Europe. They walked through a continent steeped in history, from the ancient ruins of Italy to the charming villages of France. They navigated the bustling streets of Istanbul, a city that literally bridges 2 continents, Asia and Europe. It was here that their journey took another significant turn. They ventured into Central Asia, following a path less traveled, tracing the ancient Silk Road through countries like Azerbaijan and Kyrgyzstan. The landscapes were some of the most dramatic and beautiful they had ever seen. They walked through vast, empty steppes and high-altitude mountain passes, where they were often the only 2 souls for miles. The isolation was intense, but so was the beauty. It was a time of deep reflection for Tom, a period to truly connect with nature and with himself. Of course, a 7-year journey is not without its serious obstacles. In 2020, the world came to a standstill. Tom and Savannah were in Azerbaijan when borders started closing. They were stuck, their global walk suddenly paused by a global crisis. For months they waited, their future uncertain. But Tom, ever resilient, used this time to rest, write, and plan. When travel finally became possible again, he was more determined than ever to finish what he started. There were also health scares. At one point, Tom contracted a serious bacterial infection that required hospitalization. Savannah, his faithful companion, had her own health issues that needed veterinary care in foreign lands. Each setback was a test of their bond and their resolve. But they overcame every single one, together. Finally, after 7 long years, 44 countries, and an astonishing 46,000 kilometers, Tom and Savannah walked back into their hometown in New Jersey. They crossed the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, the same one Tom had dreamed of walking across at the end of his journey. Were greeted by a crowd of friends, family, and supporters. They had done it. They had walked around the world. Tom Turcich's journey is more than just a remarkable physical feat. It's a powerful testament to the human spirit. It's a story about chasing a dream, no matter how audacious it may seem. It's about the courage to step out of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. It's about the profound connections you can make when you open yourself up to the world. Tom's walk reminds us that the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. He didn't just read the book. He walked through its pages, one step at a time, with his best friend by his side. His journey teaches us that adventure isn't just found in grand, sweeping gestures, but in the simple, steady act of putting one foot in front of the other. It shows us that the world, for all its vastness, is also intimately connected, woven together by threads of human kindness. So what's your Benjamin Franklin Bridge? What's the monumental goal you're walking towards? Tom's story proves that with enough determination, resilience, and a little bit of help from a furry friend, anything is possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you were as inspired by Tom and Savannah's story as I was, please hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible journeys. See you in the next video.